Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be discussing the fact that there's a brand new massive console that is coming out as of these next few months. And you guys might be surprised because we don't usually see too many brand new console iterations. Right now, we're kind of at the staple PlayStation, Xbox, maybe, and of course the Switch too. Now, we've also been seeing some other side products such as all like the Lenovo Go, Steam Decks, and other types of handhelds, which are kind of in the console market, kind of not. I mean, they're clearly not a console, they're a handheld device, but you know what I mean. And of course, also some side stuff like VR, I guess, mobile phones, I guess. But we really haven't seen too many big, proper, in-house, like actual consoles. So right now, we're going to be talking about the fact that a brand new one was announced as of today, and it actually might be something I want to buy, and that will compete with both the PlayStation, Xbox, and of course the Switch. And of course, if you guys want to join the giveaway, we have a brand new giveaway down below. Subscribe here with the notifications on. Check out the second gossip channel down below, or of course, we just check out the Twitter tweets and stuff down below, and let's dive on into the video itself. So if you guys have kind of missed the big news, and in my honest opinion, I think this is, well, huge news. Steam is now officially announcing and discussing that they're having a Steam machine, brand new Steam frame, and of course a brand new Steam controller. And as you guys probably know, they've had the Steam Deck available for quite some time, which has had phenomenal reviews, millions of things sold, and also a very good comparable price point, where you guys can see up to $400 for one of the best handheld devices, although small memory still, and it's one of the best things on the market. But as of this past day, we have now seen a brand new console, which we're going to show you guys and talk about on over here in the background, which is the brand new Steam-like console device. Now, it's shooting for 4K, it has AMD technology, and it's basically equivalent to a 4060 GPU, and it's over 6 times as powerful as the Steam Deck. Now, this is, I think, just IGN's video where they're going to be showcasing up some of the stuff. Just in general, I'm not sure how they're showing Star Trek for that, whatever, but I'm going to kind of do a few glance through sort it all so you guys can physically see it, see the reactions of it all. Now, people are pretty excited for it. Now, we don't know the exact price point yet. Most people are assuming around the $499 price tag, and that's what people are mostly shooting for. Could be more, could be less. Or as we've seen with the Steam Deck too, we've also seen various price points depending on the memory and of course internals. And this is to me, honestly huge. Steam has way more games, believe it or not, than both PlayStation or Xbox will ever have. Steam, due to the fact that it's obviously the main supplier for PCs, and well, people can mod games and make all these indie games, there are a plethora of indie games, especially that blow up on Steam. They're huge. Or if you also factor in the fact that they're saying that this is a literal PC. This is a also literal PC. It will be using the Steam OS, which is kind of similar how Xbox has their own Xbox OS for the most recently released Xbox handheld we just covered on the channel if you guys missed it. But they also have the controller. You guys can see the controller over here. They're basically doing everything that you would want for, say, even an Xbox PC to be made. And that's kind of where Xbox said they wanted to go. Their next console, quote-unquote console, is meant to be a basically PC console hybrid. And well, with Game Pass available on PC, I would probably rather get a Steam PC than everything else. This is basically PC too. Steam has every game out there. Now PlayStation games coming to it as well. Same with the Xbox Game Pass as we mentioned. And of course, due to it being a PC, you can run things like Twitch. My link's down below, go follow. Or as well watch YouTube, load up Facebook, or even use this for things such as VR, Beat Saber, whatever you want to go be, because it is basically just a PC box. And this is also from Steam. Steam is probably one of the only, and people are calling it the GameCube. This is probably one of the only companies that can probably compete properly with these huge mega hitters, both for price points down, but also having the market to sell it. As I mentioned, the Steam Deck is probably one of the probably number 2 best-selling handheld devices of them all. I mean, maybe 3 if you factor in the PSP, PS Vita, but they're not currently in like rotation. But Switch 1 and 2 is probably number 1, and then the Steam Deck is probably number 2. It's been confirmed selling millions of copies so far of it, and this is probably one of the one devices that can probably compete with it all. So some other little things out here, it's going to be launching with either a 512 gigabyte model or a 2 terabyte model too. It'll also be bundled with a Steam controller and is also might be its own standalone device as well in 2026. Spec-wise, I do believe, though, it is, from the rumors, slightly worse than the Xbox Series X, which is concerning because the Xbox Series X came out 5 years ago, although apparently it's very comparable. and as well also the CPU is better. So the overall operating device will run more smoothly, say for Windows, SteamOS. The GPU is slightly worse, which, I mean, that is actually something to factor on it. So apparently for this one, it is though going to be 6 times as powerful than the Steam Deck with 16 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. That's better than what I have. 8 gigabytes of DDR6 video RAM, which is huge, especially for now bigger games out here that need to utilize video RAM. I mean, what they're showing on screen is the power supply, which is pretty much taking up almost all of the, like, this is like the heat sink and power supply in terms of the little box, which is crazy and how small it actually is too. And like, yeah, this is, people are intrigued. I remember the Steam machine because it was released like 10 years ago. I was tempted to buy one. I think they were at some point even like giving them away because they probably had a few extra ones. And it just was a little bit too early. But now this is kind of getting a little bit more quicker and kind of fits more into like this mid-range price range, because you can do things like streaming using NVIDIA GeForce Now. And I think this just seems overall pretty good. Once again, though, price point's the biggest deal. We actually had a statement from Valve's boss, Gabe Newell, saying, "We've been super happy with the success of the Steam Deck, and PC gamers have continued asking for even more ways to play the great titles in their Steam libraries. Our work over the years on other hardware, and even more importantly, on SteamOS, has enabled Steam Controller, Steam Machine, and Steam Frame to just do that." So they made all these announcements as of today, and they kind of want to have it coming out in the near future. So the specs, as well as we're getting to in this point on the video, they have a custom AMD CPU, which is all like special both with AMD as well as also for the GPU CPU. It's decent. It's a custom chip, so they're going to probably make a few million of these and kind of cut down the cost. AMD's been making everything, you know, obviously with the consoles, PS5, etc. But as long as it works, you know, as long as everything is running at a good, solid, as they're pushing for 4K, I can see there being very good value in this. Like, I can see people buying this, utilizing this, or maybe even having this more for like you have a PC itself. Like I have my gaming PC we're making this video on. Or you can go and then maybe have a Steam console and put it in your bedroom or your living room. So you can kind of utilize your entire Steam library. You buy a brand new game, and most games do come out day one nowadays from third-party publishers. Think like Monster Hunter, think Battlefield, think Call of Duty. Call of Duty shows up day one on Steam. Silent Hill shows up day one on Steam. Monster Hunter Wilds, day one on Steam. And now some games, such as maybe PlayStation games, will show up a year later, although this does look a little laggy, to be fully honest. It's not the impression of what they're showing. It does look a little sketchy for a brand new device, but nonetheless, if you can buy all these games day one, and as we have Xbox games going to PC day one, and PlayStation games coming to PC quicker, this actually might be a better alternative, because it'll also have the Steam OS, and you can focus on utilizing this instead. We'll also have to see how the Xbox PC comes out, but this is like a whole year before the Xbox PC is even considered coming out. Maybe even 2, maybe even 3, based on all the leaks. So there is a few critiques though, because they do want to have up to 4K 240 hertz, but they're also using stuff like HDMI 2.0, which is kind of older. They do have other various things, like they support up to 4K 120 hertz, which even some PC enthusiasts, that's a little bit low. They have Wi-Fi cards are all up to date though. It's all fine. They do have ray tracing support, which is big. They also have micro SD slots for everything else. Like, it just seems like overall decent. They have an AMD RDNA 3 2.45 gigahertz max sustained clock GPU, which does seem a little lower, but as I mentioned, their CPU seems really good. Maybe just optimized for the Steam OS and other various games. A lot of indie games also pull a lot from the CPU. So it has even the articles mentioning, and like, you know, the videos are mentioning, this might be more of a niche product still. Maybe trying to go and compete as a second PC, or maybe if you just don't want to buy a console or handheld, like say Xbox or PlayStation, and it just kind of opens up another alternative between them all. Now, I do think I'd probably have a PS6 over this, even as a Steam user, but if I had an Xbox versus this, I'd almost maybe want to lean towards this instead of an Xbox, just because that very slight amount of power decrease makes everything a little easier because I have everything on Steam. So it's just more of a seamless experience, and I still could run Game Pass on this due to it being a Windows device, technically. PlayStation does have more exclusives, and although those are coming to Steam, I can maybe see people justifying the 1 to 2 year lead time for the console more. Same with the Switch 2, always exclusives, but at the end of the day, this is just once again a big step against Xbox, where it makes less people want to buy an Xbox console. Hands-on, everyone is seemingly liking it, and if it is around a $499 price tag, included with the controller, and it is also been the Steam Deck, which seemingly does run almost every game pretty decently. Like say Elden Ring can still run a very solid like 30, 40 FPS depending on the areas and settings. I think it'll be fine. Like I think this is something that's going to be a nice alternative that will not be selling like tens of millions of devices, but I do think it will be selling a few million, and I do think the Steam market is growing. And it will maybe be a loss leader, but at the end of the day, if it makes more people buying games on Steam or utilizing their Steam platform, that probably means a little bit, like it's good, like you almost have to do that. And Steam has enough money, they're churning out profit nonstop, that they could justify having these loss leaders to spend all this time into it. So I'm guessing around a $499 price tag, maybe $600 for the higher specs, slightly worse than the Xbox and PS5, barely, but I think this will sell very good. Give me your thoughts and comments and everything down below, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Join the giveaway too as well. I'll talk to you guys all soon.